Hi, thank you for joining me today on this podcast entitled From Dreams to Actions, where we discuss business goals, positive energy, and following your dreams. On today's episode, we're going to discuss managing your social media. So, this is going to be a good one because most people that are probably listening or watching this podcast is on some type of social media. So let's start off with coming to an agreement that we live in a world that is full of distractions. We've always been surrounded by distractions, whether it was a billboard, commercials, someone selling something to you on the street. But now we are just full of distractions. Nothing stops. Everything is 24 hours. And the thing is, with this happening, we no longer live in a world of, I remember the time where, let's say, TV shows, if you miss it, then you missed it. And there weren't any opportunities to really rewatch or to see that show or that movie again that was on TV. But nowadays, with the example of streaming services, you're able to watch your show or movie 24 hours a day on repeat. After you watch it at 10 a.m., it's over by 12, you click play again and can watch it again over and over and over again. So we live in a world where so many people have control, which can be good and bad. Control a lot of times equals freedom, but then some too much control, you could abuse it and you don't know when to stop because it doesn't stop. So again, the introduction of this is that we just live in a world full of distractions and nothing ever stops. Everything is just pretty much, 24 hours. And with that, it can be very overwhelming for some people who don't take things into moderation or who don't have that self-discipline. And then it's also very time consuming. Now, with the time consumption, that can also equal wasting time. And what I mean by this is, I'll say for myself as an example on social media, whatever platform I'm on, I'm scrolling and looking at photos or following people I don't know or looking at funny videos. And by the time I look up, I've been doing this for 45 minutes. why am I doing why am I looking at other people's lives, people who probably don't even know me? And I just wasted 45 minutes doing that. You know what I could have done in 45 minutes? Grocery shopping, trying to learn a new language, you know, filming my podcast. There's a lot you can do within 30 to 40, working out, there's so many things. The list goes on. But, I've scrolled for that amount of time, and sometimes I'll look and I'm like, I can't believe I just scrolled for that long. And then what was I actually watching? How did it actually benefit or add to my life? And I think that's something that's very important as well too, where when you're scrolling or watching something on social media, how is it adding to you? I understand people have goofy videos or people like watching cat videos or something about, you know, cooking or baking, something that just adds to you that you gravitate towards that you really like. But then there's sometimes you're just scrolling and you're watching probably a lot of negativity or things that you probably shouldn't be watching that aren't really feeding your mind or your body in a positive manner. So the thing is, definitely, continuing to use me as an example, some of the things I would watch or whatever, it wasn't benefiting me. And so I'm like, why am I doing this? And the thing is, protect, your mind, protect what you're watching, protect what you're reading. And also to understand that you don't have to friend everyone on Facebook. You don't have to follow everyone on Instagram or Snapchat or whatever platform you're on. You don't have to. Some people, you may know and you want to follow your friends back or your parents or, a close relative. But some people just follow you because they like following you. I remember one time a friend was like, there was like Instagram etiquette. And this person said, oh, well, when someone follows you, you should follow them back. back, it's just good, etiquette with social media. And this is when it was like kind of early within Instagram, and I was like, oh, like really? Like there's etiquette with this? But then as I get older, I'm like, I don't care. This is my social media. I control this. I could follow three people and then have 3,500 followers. That's my prerogative. That's what I'm going to do. So the whole etiquette piece of, they follow you, you follow them, it's not always going to be equal because there's people that I follow that aren't following me. And frankly, I don't care. It's my social media. So I'm going to control it and manage it the way I want. And I don't think there's really any etiquette, especially on social media, because it's just so open and out there as I digest. But yeah, I just remember that was kind of comical to me when that person explained the etiquette, proper etiquette of following someone on Instagram. Continuing on, another example I wanted to share, not just social media where it's just, videos or certain things people are selling, but also on the professional side, I'll say LinkedIn as an example, where, you work for a company and let's say they laid you off. Let's say you got terminated and it was something you didn't agree with and it was maybe unlawful or something that just didn't seem fair on your LinkedIn, you're going to continue to see what that company's doing or people that are working at that company, whether it's senior leadership, whether they hired a new intern or they're hiring new positions. Stop that right away because you don't need to be following the past, especially if a company did you wrong or they probably didn't do you wrong. You made that decision to move on. And so you don't need to continue to follow them unless you did cultivate some really good work relationships and, some of those coworkers are part of your network. But let's remember you're no longer the brand of that employer. So why are you continuing to support and invest your time in your viewing, in your scrolling, whatever you're doing on LinkedIn? Why are you continuing to give them that attention? Because you are a follower. You add to their following numbers, which helps them with hiring and employee engagement and everything else that those numbers come with. So just stop following them. And I noticed that, when I was on LinkedIn, certain jobs that just didn't work out or places I'm no longer at, I'm like, why is this still showing up on my feed? Or why is this showing up whenever I go into LinkedIn and I'm looking for a job or maybe looking for other opportunities? I don't want to think about the past. I want to move forward. So I started unfollowing, certain companies that I used to work at so that I'm not their brand anymore. I don't care what they're doing. They let me go, or I decided to leave. So that's something I think that's very important. A lot of people kind of neglect that on the professional side of LinkedIn, and I think LinkedIn will automatically, don't quote me, but I think it'll automatically have you start following, that business or company when you start working there, because then you put where you're working, and I think it automatically feeds into your feed. So just be conscious of that. Always think about the future. Don't follow the past or worry about what happened in the past. You're moving forward. But I definitely wanted to touch on that LinkedIn part because LinkedIn is honestly social media as well. I think people kind of forget that. A lot of people are kind of intermingling. LinkedIn used to be a lot of posts about professionalism, about something professional in the workplace. And now I'm seeing, people, and I'm not knocking it, but I'm seeing more personal posts on LinkedIn. And I'm just like, when did this become like a social media platform? But hey, everyone does whatever they want. So it's kind of happening like that. Continuing on here with this segment, protect your mind. All in all, just really protect your mind. Protect, like I said before, what you're reading, what you are consuming and watching. That feeds into your brain, that feeds into your mind. Some people watch a scary movie before they go to sleep or something just really eerie, and you have nightmares, and then that disturbs your sleep. That affects your health. Some people listen to a lot of people talking about finances, or maybe let's say talking about um, recession or when COVID was happening, and it puts fear in you, and then you can't sleep at night, or you're having anxiety, or oh my goodness, am I going to lose my job? Everyone's getting laid off. That really puts fear in you, and that is not good for your health, and adds stress to you, and you don't want that. So again, with protecting your mind, just be very thoughtful on what you follow, and who you follow. Um, as I was mentioning, kind of like the fear factor part, the news is really good at doing this. The news does this quite a bit. No matter what news segment you watch or listen to, no matter if it's local news, world news, uh, they're really good at this. And we can't forget that the news it's a business, and they are there to sell. And a lot of times what they're selling is fear. And when you sell fear, then there's people out there that are selling um, a solution to that fear, or calming that anxiety. And I'm not going to go deep into this, but if you're following me, you're following me. You know where I'm getting at with this. And sometimes you have to take a step back and not watch the news. I understand the news is there to inform, and is there to make sure that you know what's going on in the world or in your local community, but sometimes the news sells too much fear for people, and sometimes people can't handle it, and that's where anxiety comes in, depression, stress, and that's just really not good for you. So I'll say that on the news side. So just kind of wrapping up here, like I said, just be mindful and careful of what you follow and who you follow. Not everyone's your friend. Not everyone you have to follow. Not every celebrity you need to know what they're doing at every given time, or um, know what reality, show or drama that's happening. How is that feeding into you? I know some people really enjoy pop culture, and they kind of thrive off of that, and they really like that, and they're not going to be depressed or stressed out. Sometimes people just follow it because it's just comedy for them, so it kind of adds to their day for them to smile. But if there's certain things that are kind of affecting you mentally, just kind of reevaluate that. Really take an audit, or a check on what you're following and who you're following. And I started doing this where, maybe you take a day out of the month or bi-weekly, and you really kind of just scroll who you're following. You can't control who's following you or who's friending you, but you can really control what are you looking at, what's always popping up on your feed. Because here's the thing too, with the algorithms of social media, when you're following, let's say you're in the market to buy a, a luxury vehicle. I don't know, say a Porsche or a Bentley or something. You're going to get other feeds that you're not following that are similar products that you're looking for with that luxury vehicle. So the same thing, if you follow someone who's just full of drama, a person who's just kind of known to just be loud and always in drama, you're going to find other people or other things in your feed that kind of have that same type of theme, because that algorithm sees that's what you're into and what you really like. So you might say, "Oh, I'm only following just one of these, one thing that's probably negative, that's not adding to you, but it's actually pulling in probably five more feeds that's the same type of theme." And then that's when things kind of, get a little wonky, and then you kind of go down a rabbit hole with that. So again, just be mindful, people. Really protect your health, protect what you're consuming. It goes into your body, as what you're listening and hearing. And you don't have to follow everyone, like I said. And again, make sure the things that you are following are adding, to your positivity, and to you in a positive light, in a positive way, where you wake up with a smile on your face, and you share that energy and that happiness with those people, and good vibes, with the world. So that's all I'm pretty much saying about this. But that's all I wanted to really talk about in regards to social media. I'm sure there's a lot more. It's a great discussion in regards to social media and where it's taken us, throughout the years and through technology, and where is it going to continue to go and grow. It started out really, really good, and I think it's still good. It's a great for marketing. It's a lot of people know how to strategically use social media, but then also a lot of those people know how to manipulate and use it in a negative sense, for social media as well. So at the end of the day, everyone just protect yourself, okay? So once again, I hope this was helpful. I appreciate you for watching, and always remember to follow your dreams.